I think a store of value that is awesome could be built on top of Solana.
Like, we believe in self-custody, we believe in permissionless finance.
We have a quantum safe and like privacy available store value.
The only way this works is if it's fair launch.
All right, everybody. Hello.
All right. Hello, everybody. Hi, Brian. How are you doing today, Brian?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good. Just surviving.
I thought
as
you were just
always.
about to pull another trick on me, pretending that you couldn't hear me.
No, I'll do that every other show. Today, I'm just smooth. I haven't had too much coffee. I haven't had too much anything. I'm just going to let it ride. We're riding today.
Love it. You know, I've had a lot of coffee because I'm excited to announce that we've got a special guest today. Kemo4be is joining us, a longtime ore purveyor, and I'm excited to get to interview him, learn a little bit more about him, alongside you guys in the community, find out what he's about, what he likes, what he dislikes, what his thoughts are on the current market cycles, and what he thinks the future of Solana and the future of ore is going to look like. So it should be a great show. Alongside of that, we have some news articles that we're going to go over. We've got the Mineshaft Weekly that we're going to go over. So jam-packed and full of exciting things. Are you excited, Brian?
Of course I am, but I'm smoothly excited today. Super smooth.
He's keeping it smooth today. Gotta love it.
So I'm on the radio.
He's on the radio. Look at him go. All right, awesome. Well, I'm excited. Kemo is here, and we're gonna chat a little bit, learn more about him. So I guess we'll just jump right into that first, right? And then we'll go into news. What do you think?
Sounds good.
All right, Mr. Kemo4be, we're bringing you on board. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I'm warm. I'm toasty.
Yeah, I'm hearing that you're sweating a little bit right now.
Yeah. I got this. Yeah, all these people have fancy Teslas, and the Teslas have air conditioning, and I have rough hands and cuts and scrapes and bruises and no AC in my road rig. So I'm in the process of fixing that. I'm currently in an auto zone.
You're keeping it rugged, though. That's kind of the ore dream in a way.
It is.
Yeah, that's the idea.
We don't want wimps. We want manly,
it's in my blood.
Men and women. Manly women. We want manly women and manly men.
We're keeping it all man, all women, all the time.
It's as my girlfriend would say, the divine masculine or something like that.
Ooh, that
or maybe
deep.
it's design feminine or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
Amazing.
we get it. Greek statue man. That's the ideal. So, and Greek statue woman, man. Anyway, so I'll let you go. I'll let you get back to it, Mr. Fronk.
Sure, absolutely. So thank you so much for joining us here. We're super excited to have you on. As I was mentioning in the pre-show, this is my first interview ever. So I've never interviewed someone before. So, leave a rating afterwards. If you want to leave a review in the Discord, let HHC know that I did a bad job. That's totally okay. But we'll still keep rolling anyway. So Mr. Kemo4be, I've done a little bit of research on you, just to find out a little bit more about what you're about. But I'd love to hear it from you. So tell me, who is Kemo4be?
Can you hear me? There we go. The name comes from an old cowboy series called The Lone Ranger, and there is an Indian on there who would always call the Lone Ranger Kemo4be. My license plate too, and that's just a thing that I grew up enjoying as a kid, and then that evolved into a production name because I was a music producer, and then after that I started doing design stuff, and then I got obsessed with stories, and as my bio says, story, sound, symbols, software, solar punk. What am I? I don't know. I'm a guy who really only can focus on things that are meaningful to him, and that's pretty much it. I have been clinically diagnosed with ADHD, but really all that means to me is like I have to do work that I care about, and that is all I do, which is a pretty lucky position to be. So
Totally get it. I love that kind of focus and energy, and yeah, it's interesting. So you kind of like came from like grew up with like westerns, and then I noticed, yeah, you kind of like moved into like more of that like solar punk. So like, what's like the transition in that kind of aesthetic?
I think it's very Americana. Like I grew up in Montana. Kind of my crypto story doesn't start in 2009, but it does for me on like a personal level. Like I didn't get into crypto probably till, I don't know. I first heard about Bitcoin probably 2014, 2013, but in 2008, 2009 financial crisis, my mom lost her job. My stepdad had recently started a solar business, and there was a whole other messy, situation with my dad. But we had to move away from Montana with no money because of the financial crisis. She lost her job. My stepdad's solar business wasn't taking off, and he inherited a house from his grandpa in Maine, old farmhouse essentially. And we had to figure out how to get to Maine with no money or any of that stuff. So he and I converted the 1980s Mercedes to run on vegetable oil, and we trucked it across the country, purely powered by like KFC. So instead of going to a gas station, we'd stop by like a KFC or whatever, and then with our like 5-gallon buckets, filter out the vegetable oil and put it in the back of our Mercedes. Because you can run that, man. Those old diesels on that. But yeah, like that was pretty formative for me, is like kind of losing everything because of, the financial system and Bear Stearns and bad debt and all that shit. And then in high school, I got into music, and regrettably, because I'm motivated by meaning over money, instead of buying Bitcoin, I bought a MIDI keyboard for about $300. That was the price of Bitcoin at the time. And I had a friend who I was going to school with who was like, had just graduated and was like installing Bitcoin ATMs all over the world. And he's like, buy Bitcoin, you really got it. And then I tried to, but I couldn't get like an ID for Coinbase or something. So I just gave up and bought the keyboard. And then, the rest is history. Yeah. Yeah. I don't regret it one bit, but yeah, that's that.
We all know where we were when we passed up our first Bitcoin, or even our second or third, for $50. We know where we were.
Yeah.
I was in the drama. I was in the drama, the drama closet of my, like literally the drama program, like the classes closet of my high school. And I had like set up a little makeshift studio between the clothing racks. And I'd be a lot richer if I bought Bitcoin now. But it was a cool drama closet.
Little Big Planet was a great game. I'm just saying.
Yeah, totally. Borderlands.
I feel it though. Like at that same time, like that 2013, 2014 area, I had a buddy that was telling me about Bitcoin. I mean, I ended up getting like the original white paper in my Yahoo email. I wish I still had that access to that Yahoo email to prove it. And I kind of just like glanced at it. I'm like, all right, that's just another email. Just kept going along. But yeah, like 2013, 2014, I was buying like M Audio keyboards. I bought my Yamaha like HS50Ms and like a Yamaha mixer.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Your MO8.
Yeah, I still roll around. I'll at some other point, maybe next week or whenever the next Minerside Chat is, I'll give you guys the tour. I still got my HS7s from high school. They haven't had a problem with them. They're fantastic. Yeah, they sit at my desk and I bang out some tunes on them occasionally.
That's amazing. Yeah. Those are amazing speakers. I mean, you cannot go wrong. Yeah. I think I saw in one of your videos you also had a DX7. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Also got that in high school. The piano teacher. Yeah, I started out like in high school, like trying to be a DJ or whatever, but it was terrible because I lived in a small town and everybody wanted Taylor Swift. So the piano teacher said, "Oh, my keyboard's broken. It's totally out of tune." And I'm like, I'll give this DJ equipment to the school that I like cobbled together in exchange for the Yamaha DX7. And I knew that it was just a little, like detune knob setting there. So that was when I got my first DX7. So I've had both of those for over 10 years now, which is pretty cool. And it's like very instrumental in all the music I make is the DX7 sound.
Amazing. So I was looking, like I said, I did a little research. I saw that you were talking about that you built like an FM synth that was kind of like you haven't finished it yet, but you're kind of working on one. Is that correct?
I'm working on. So I guess I sent you earlier. I'm working on a bunch of random ideas. Basically, idea machine. Less so like long term. I can build every idea that I have because I have 4 day or whatever. But one of the things I'm working on is a little internet based FM synth. I think it would be very fun to because you can do FM synthesis on the internet now with codecs and things. So I was playing around with that. Yeah. And then there is a good emulator where you can sort of upload the ROMs from GX7. So play around with that. And that'll be on RadOS, theoretically.
Oh, awesome.
There's a bunch of other stuff to go in there.
So now that you mentioned RadOS, what is RadOS?
Oh, this is a good conversation because I was just trying to put together a hype video for launch. You're seeing like if you went to it, you went to a very beta version. But so over the years, I tried to make kind of, like I started in NFTs in 2021 on Solana and DAOs and all this stuff. And RadOS is sort of the synergy of, or I guess the synthesis of what I think the perfect community website should be. Because, websites historically are largely for business or for traffic. Discord is, I guess, a community website in a way, but it's more of a community app. But Discord doesn't really enable keeping a record of what the community built. So the question I set out to answer, and I tried to do this with JukeDAO, and when Slorg and I set up JukeDAO back in the day, was a sort of permanent record of community creation. And it's getting there, it's close, but the idea is that a pull request to add an app, anybody can make one. Is a very durable and interesting thesis. Instead of it being like a lockdown system, it's like, oh, somebody can add an app to a website. Those apps, what do they have to live in? Well, it probably looks something like an operating system. So RadOS is, I guess, my first pass at what I think the community operating system is. And then eventually maybe it'll be a Linux distro or something. I don't know.
Interesting. That sounds really cool. So anybody could potentially just upload kind of applications for everybody to use. I mean, is it kind of like
with bars, like we'd have to be vetted and approved and not audited, but hey, if it's an on-chain app, we try to focus on non-financial applications, largely irradiance. The closest to financial application we have is like a staking thing, like a staking Solana. But yeah, so it's not like we're doing like DeFi and all that stuff. So we try to keep risk as low as we can. So that is the thing. And I think that the majority of blockchain use cases, contrary to current popular belief, are non-financial. And I hold that steadfastly, but that's okay.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Like I was looking through, like I said, I was looking through some of the background and everything, and I found it interesting that you and I kind of come from the same perspective that crypto seems to have kind of lost its way in recent times. From my end, more so, I believe that a lot of founders have switched from prioritizing the tech to prioritizing the dollar. And it seems like from what I'm seeing is on your end, you kind of seen a shift from prioritizing culture to prioritizing the dollar. So I wanted to kind of pick your brain a little bit more on, what you think of the current state of Solana culture, and what do you think is, the path forward to kind of bring culture, to its forefront again?
I think culture is a very sticky term. It's hard to, I think it's hard to in crypto. It's pretty hard to have a durable culture because the culture, quote unquote, is so tied in with speculation. And I think a lot of the people who formerly, in a different world, would be the cultural centers. They can really only be the cultural centers if they match with the moment. Which I think is kind of the core issue, right? Like, so example is like if we go to like Frank D. Gods, like, okay, cultural center for a while, and then after that, irrelevant or burned out or not respected anymore. And so it gets hard. right? Like to maintain a culture throughout that is very difficult. But on the other side of the thing, a culture is something that's emergent. It's not something that you can just manufacture, right? You can't just like have like, oh, now we've got a culture. It's like how everybody says like, oh, we've got a community. It's like, well, you don't have a community unless you've existed for a year or two. Like you really don't. What you have is a party or maybe a concert, or you have an assembly of people for a specific reason, but it's not really a community unless you've been around and you've gone through shit with people, right? Like, what is keeping people together? And, you know, I think I have a little bit of, credibility on this subject with like, being in Solana for a long time, but also trying to maintain the community at Jupiter for a long time. Mm-hmm. And that was hard, right? Because Jupiter, like the reason that everybody first arrived was simply monetary. They got a bunch of free money. And so trying to weed through all the people who were there for free money versus the people who were there for real reasons, which was basically our entire job, was actually very hard. Yeah.
So how did you tackle that?
I would actually say we didn't tackle it very well. I think it's somewhat of a impossible challenge. For Jupiter, it's like, the token distribution and all this stuff. Like we came in going into Jupiter with like, okay, damn, this is going to be the most, financially, biggest treasury DAO ever, or close to it. We were going to largely be able to dictate all future emissions. We were going to be able to have the largest assembly of people. And I guess the mistake is that we thought we would be able to, or maybe we're too egoic. I guess Slorg and I might have been too egoic. We were like, and I say Slorg and I, but there was other people who sort of came on later in the thing who became much more instrumental than me. Morton and AG and Jay Porta, who were there through the end, who came from the community and were fantastic. But I think trying to take an assembly of that many people who are not necessarily united in motivation, but beyond financial motivation, and turning them into something durable, it really matters how you start something, is I guess what I'd say. And we didn't have any sort of dictation over how it started. We just came in after the first airdrop. So yeah, I don't know. I guess that's what it is. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. So do you feel like you've taken any of those lessons and, implemented them in Radiant DAO?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, I think a lot of them, it's been a lot of like restructuring over the last 6 months. We're a small team, have to move up, get to speed with AI. But certainly.
Yeah, you mentioned AI. I know I talk to a lot of people, and they're very divisive on AI. Some people are like,
totally.
I just hate the fact that people are just making slop every day. And some people are like, dude, it's making my life so much better. Like, which camp do you feel like you most so sit in as a creative?
Neither. Yeah, I don't believe in those camps. Because I am somebody who, I might describe myself as multi-potentialite was one of them. I wouldn't say a Renaissance man because it's that's too fancy. Definitely wouldn't say a polymath because at least maybe in like 10 years I can call myself a polymath. But, I do video editing, I do writing, I do all these things, and I consider myself at least decent at all of them. Music or whatever else. I'm decent. I'm not the best in the world by any means at any one thing, but I can assemble them in a way that nobody else can. In my own unique way. With AI, it's hard because I have to update all of my skill sets. It's not like I'm just a developer. It's like I'm gonna have to stay on the edge of every skill set. And so, the last 6 months have been sort of hell in a handbasket on that front. But does it allow me to do things I could never do before? Yeah. Does it make me create slop sometimes and I go down shitty rabbit holes? Yeah, totally. Do I put that slop out though? No. But that's cool because I can like tell when it's slop.
Yeah, nobody will notice the 7th finger.
Right. Yeah. Like I know the tricks on that too, right? Like with video editing, it's like, oh, there's 7 fingers. I'll make sure that's just a 2-second cut.
Perfect. It's using it for your creative advantage.
Yeah, and it will also like
not all of it fits.
I couldn't have built RadOS without it. There's a whole bunch of things that I've been working on that I couldn't have done without it. I think that like any creative venture, you'll stop, and people who are really curious and really into the thing they're making, they're going to spend the exact same amount of time as they would have prior to AI. Like, it's not that your input time goes down. It's just that your output is at a different level, right? And I think that that's the key. People are like, "Oh, it's low effort, it's slop," and it's like it's only slop and low effort if you make it slop and low effort, and you don't give it if you don't give whatever project it is what it deserves. Because I spend more time on the computer now, and I have a lot more to do.
I agree with you on that, actually. Like, I look at, for example, like the tool Suno for like audio creation. And
Yeah.
I gave it to a friend and I'm like, hey, just try to make like a couple songs with it. And I could tell, he's not musically inclined, and you could tell in the music. And it made me really think, like, you can give somebody a hammer, but you cannot tell them that they're suddenly a handyman, right? Like, so it's just simply like a tool that can enhance abilities, but like, and it kind of like raises the floor some, right? Like, you can get a 4 beat out of something, but like, it doesn't make it so you're like all of a sudden this master producer of content
No.
or audio or anything like that. So definitely vibe with that. I also noticed, like, I was looking through your profile, you built a game show for Solana.
Yeah, that didn't go well.
So like, what happened?
Oh my
with-
god. Vib, who tweeted like last, I don't know, early November, like, "Hey, what if we did a game show for Solana?" And this is before AI was big. So basically, I had all my devs sprinted. I sprinted the front end. I was stayed up all night testing and putting it all together. But on the game show itself, we didn't do enough user testing with me as a user. I clicked the wrong button, and went to hell. But it was like it would have been, if it would done a month later, it would have been so much better, because we could have done like AI assisted and set up all the stuff and had more testing. But he's like, "Do it in 2 weeks," and we were like, "Oh my god!" And then I asked him, "Okay, cool. Can I do a beta test with the people? Because I don't know how many seekers connecting to this app from multiple jurisdictions across all of the world is going to work." He's like, "No." So we really just Bill O'Reilly'd it. We fucked it, and we did it live. Uh, yeah, I mean, it was a cool concept. I liked it. It was basically, you had your seeker, you had to buzz in within a certain amount of time, and it worked. I just hit the wrong button and cleared everybody's scores right near the end. And it's very hard. Like, it's very hard to run a live stream, be the host of a game show, score people, and do all of that at once without a practice run. So I forgive myself.
I forgive you too.
on an app that was developed in 2 weeks.
I mean, I can barely even talk and look at this chat at the same time. That's why I have Brian here running the video. So I commend you for doing all of that. That's awesome.
I mean, it's sort of awesome, but then I guess this is a really good beta test. My girlfriend asked, "Hey, can you make a game show for my mom's graduation?" And bro, I one shot at that in the night, and it worked fine. And I didn't even test it. Yeah, and so there was music, and there was buzzers, and people could buzz in on their phones and all that shit. And it was like 2 or 3 weeks of like mad sprint effort last November, compared to now, or like it would have been a month ago, like 4 hours. So I think, granted, there was no like Solana integration, and that was kind of the whole point of the game show, is to show how quick the Solana buzzer was, because it sent an actual transaction on chain. But that was the only difference, really. Yeah.
That's really, really cool. Hopefully, maybe you make like a V2 version. Maybe we can hold like an OR game show or something sometime.
Yeah, that would be fun. Maybe I'll think about that. That'd be a fun way to. You could definitely use the tiles, Jeopardy style tiles. And behind that is OR, baby.
It's the daily dub OR.
It's the daily dub OR.
Oh God,
We're going to dub her down.
we're going down a rabbit hole.
Yes, we are.
I love
Dad
rabbit
jokes rabbit hole.
So
Incredible.
I know Mad Hatter's already like super anxious to hear about what got you into OR and your OR story. And then, we might as well transition at this point, because Brian's brought up the tiles and it's a really good time to do it. So tell us, how did you find OR? How did you get interested in OR? And, how did you stick with OR?
So we had this guy in Radiance VJ who ran an OG when ore was proof of work mining pool. And I got into ore because we had you guys when the ore switched over to the new one, all of a sudden I had a bunch of ore from that mining pool. I was real excited about that. And then I full stacked it because I was like, I don't believe in proof of work or whatever. And then I didn't read. And then like 2 days later, I bought back because I was like, oh, this is actually really cleverly designed. And I hate tokens. So it's fun for me to find a token that I don't hate. That's pretty much it. It's just the design. By trade for the last 10 years, I've been a designer. I've thought about, gone through every realm of design you can think of, from interaction design to game theory and game design and all that stuff. And so when I read through ore stuff, I was like, damn, this is clever. It plays on these little, the little demons that we have that are like, okay, I'm gonna click the square. And then that's great, but it has the long game too, and it has an ability to have some sort of strategy and accumulation. And yeah, it's just it's excellent game theory. So my little nerd light ticked on.
Very cool. Yeah, I think that's kind of what brought us all here is that, initially it's kind of like, okay, there's a game here, but then when you start digging into like the tokenomics, the mission, the vision behind it, I think that a lot of people start to resonate with it. For me personally, I've seen a lot of Bitcoin OGs who are interested in ore as well, but kind of reminds us of the old days, when, back in 2015, 2016, when people were building for the tech. Talking to HHC, the more you speak with him, it's just, it just seems like he's really in it to try to build something for people rather than just building for the dollar. And that always gets me excited to see. So, but excited to, see that you're kind of digging back into it. What kind of brought you back around to getting more active about ore?
I think it's nothing really brought me back around. I think it's more of the stuff that I needed to look. We're gonna have a kitty moment. The Discord.
Oh,
it's a kitty moment outside of AutoZone. She's a little freaked out. She doesn't like the truck, but she's getting better.
There is a kitty on the video screen currently for those who cannot see the recording.
You're panting. Hold on, I have to pull her down. Oh, you don't like the train? Poor girl. She's gonna go hide now. Loud train, scary. Anyway,
oh, okay.
Yeah, the bye kitty. What was the question? Sorry. Oh, how did I come back to ore? I never really left. I think it was just more of I went off the content. Just in general, I've been pretty quiet on Twitter for the last 6 months, just doing a lot of upskilling and figuring all that stuff out. Haven't sold my ore. Have my mined wallets sitting and collecting, and big time.
Okay, I think I'm back. I think I might have cut out for a minute there. Sorry about that.
It might have been me. I don't know.
Well, great. So excited to have you here. I did have some few one-off questions for you. So I know that so solar punk is kind of like the thematic journey that you've led to. I was kind of curious, if you were to describe the sounds of solar punk, what does that sound like to you?
Like sound wise, or are you asking me a sound design question?
Yeah.
It's really quiet, actually. I think it's quiet, and there's some jazz. And there's no train horns. And there's there's no big cities. Yeah. I think it's nature. Sounds like nature. And you don't hear much. There's not a generator running. All that stuff. That's what solar punk sounds like. It sounds like peace and quiet.
Do you think it'd be more synthetic sounds, or you take more sounds from nature?
Definitely nature. I think solar punk as an ideology is really the natural evolution of, or I shouldn't say an ideology. I don't like it as an ideology. As a genre, is the natural evolution of the hippie movement. When hippies decide to not look at tech as a bad thing, right? There's already plenty of examples of people living this way. People who have used solar, or my life. I've got a battery bank that runs and charges while I drive, and then I can run my air conditioner and all that stuff just based off the excess power that my really inefficient truck produces. And there's a solar panel for auxiliary panel power and all that stuff. I think it's really just combination of leave no trace, leave a place better than you found it, and repair, right to repair, like the ability to maintain things, and stop with all the consumerist stuff. So yeah, I don't know. That's the way I see it.
Very cool. I know.
So I think it's quiet.
Pretty quiet. I know. Stryjap's just said in the chat, Dragon Ball Z if there weren't any mountain-shattering fights. And I'm trying to imagine exactly what that would sound like. I think he's onto something, though.
Totally. I agree.
So I guess I had have one more question for you. Kind of going back to ore. We see it in this day and age, a lot of short-term thinking, regardless of what project it is. I mean, even people who are into like Zcash or Bitcoin, there's a lot of short-term thinking.
Yeah, totally.
What do you think like people need to do now to kind of guide people away from the short-term thinking into that long-term mindset that people used to have? Or do you think that's just gone entirely?
I don't think it's gone entirely. I think that people have to go through their own. Everybody always has to go through phases. And so I think that's sort of the main thing. It's like everybody at some point wants to get rich quick. Everybody. Right. And that's not even so much a get rich quick thing. It's more of I think I can do this. And it's more of a Dunning-Kruger thing. I think I can do this and it's going to make me wealthier quicker. Right. I'm going to get there. I'm going to get to the mountain and, it's a full summit. So I think everybody has to go through that. Some people get stuck in the gambling phase. Some people get stuck in the short-term thinking, short-term profits phase. But then life usually brings you out of that, hopefully, if you're, a growth-minded person. As an industry, I don't know. Crypto really likes the cycles approach. And so I'm not sure what takes that beyond. I think it would be cool if we took the perspective that, like, I don't know, maybe we don't know where this AI thing's going, and maybe what we thought of as consumer apps are like largely dead, and then maybe that changes it. I don't know, because a lot of the narrative for the longest time has been really based around this sort of Silicon Valley thesis of everything is you're going to raise for the thing, and then you're going to acquire users. And I don't know about you guys, but anything I've paid for besides ChatGPT or Claude, I've been like, I think I might cancel that, see if I can build it myself, and then I might get halfway, but I get the functions that I need. So what apps is there room for? And if there's not room for apps, what are the things that replace that area? And I think the answer is stuff that is more custom. It's more bespoke. It's more important to a smaller group of people. It's the 1,000 true fans rule in a certain capacity. So,
okay, yeah, that kind of leads me into my next question here. And this kind of off the cuff, but do you believe there will ever be like another alt season? And I'm kind of like thinking like everybody's excited about like the Clarity Act in the US and, better regulations, thinking that more retail money is going to come in. Do you think that like that's going to lead to another alt season in general? Or do you think everything is going to become these more bespoke communities, maybe like certain sectors kind of glow up at times? But just want to see what your thoughts
are. I'm not sure about alt seasons and seasons of maybe, yeah, but it's going to be more of a it's going to be more of a like it's going to rhyme with history, but I don't think anybody really was able to predict without just a streak of luck what's next, right? I could see another NFT season, another alt season. I don't really see that as super likely, at least as it was prior. Maybe does that look like ownership coins or something? Maybe, yeah. But other than that, it's really hard to say. Yeah.
Okay, fair point. One last question: do you have any plans? Like, are you building anything for Ore? I know, like, a lot of people get excited about like new ecosystem apps or more ways to interact with Ore. Do you have anything in the pipe?
I have a lot of videos in the pipeline and awesome. Content around it, because I think first thing that needs to be built for Ore is more narrative stuff, more palatable narrative stuff. So that's the main focus for me right now.
Awesome. We always love to see more content. I think education is key to be able to build like a strong community that can stick through the highs and lows and, really, really understand the narrative and the mission. So I appreciate you going through these questions with me. Hopefully that wasn't like too horrid of an interview for you. I thought it was pretty fun. Do you have anything that you want to plug? Like, time's yours.
It'd be cool if you guys check out Rada West. I'll have an announcement video out in the next couple days. Click around. I'm probably going to open source a large portion of it. I think that trying to think on what the community operating system is a hard challenge, but a valuable one. And I think that could be, applicable in some way, shape, or form to the org community. So sorry, I'm getting ice packs for my cat because she's hot.
Perfect. Yeah, that's very understandable. So I believe that link was radiant.nexus. Is that right?
Yeah, you can go to that one right now and just be warned that was that's like 2-month-old beta. We haven't deployed the new version yet, but you can kind of click around, see what's popping. Yeah.
And I was mentioning in the pre-show, there's a bunch of buttons, and that's like the bane of Brian's existence. He will probably never.
We love buttons. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff.
Buttons are the bane of my existence, sir? No. If you ask me to do musical things, that is very difficult for me. So I'm glad you led this interview because I have no musical talent whatsoever. And I have no idea.
That's okay. There's Suno now.
Time.
Yeah, there's Suno now.
Yeah, it's good.
Maybe we should do that live
genre
sometime.
of music? Is that solar punk? Like, did I miss something here?
No. It's just an AI tool that you can use to generate random sounds and shit, which is cool. I actually used it a couple times to like take my ancient demos and be like, all right, turn this into something that's not shit. And then, it wins about 20% of the time.
That's always fun. I've done that with Suno several times. I've noticed like instead of prompting, I'll take like a project of mine and I'm like, I can only take projects that I haven't posted and I'll run it through Suno and I'm like, okay, let's make it into this style. And it actually like just jams out something super cool using the arrangement and like the melodies and stuff. So super fun tool. So anyway, really appreciate you being on. I think we'll head into the news now. I'll let Brian talk a little bit, but of course, we'd love your input on all the articles that we're going to go over today. You're not kicked off.
Yeah, totally.
Unless Brian wants to kick you off, it's up to him.
Excuse me, sir. I would never. I would never. Well, thank you for the insight. And this is really cool. This is a really cool website, by the way. It is very cool, very interesting. I haven't dug into or looked at this before. So there's a lot of neat stuff in here. So you got all kinds of tools. It's very interesting. I'm interested to see where this goes. So let us know on the chat or have when you've built a miner into it. Even cooler.
I want to see this like background going on while I'm mining tiles. It would be so sick.
I mean, we did make a plugin, so I think at some point here we'll mess around with a miner, or maybe we'll have somebody else make pull requests for a miner, something like that. We have the whole package and all that stuff that not locally consumable yet because it's messy, but the idea that you can run npm create app and then create a cool app. So yeah.
Awesome. All right, Brian, what do you think? Do you want to go into the news now, or do you want to keep staring at the screen?
No, I mean, it's very, it's like a lava lamp. Obviously, this is going to keep my attention for some time. So just give me a second here.
Yeah, we need to do this.
Give me a second. Okay.
I was telling him he would love this website.
All right. So this is the most entertaining piece of news I think we've had in a long time. And how did it come to this point? How did it come to this point? Okay. So the $4 million bonk buy, right? And I have no idea how this played out, but if anybody's not aware, bonk was socially engineered without anyone else helping. Someone bought $4 million worth of bonk, which of course gives DAO voting rights. Then posted DAO proposal asking to transfer $20 million in bonk to themselves. They wait 7 days without anyone noticing, so that'd be the period of time for discussion for typically a DAO. It could be anything you said, of course, but this particular DAO seems like 7 days was the limit there. And then, since no one noticed that anyone posted on the DAO, totally that in itself is a statement that nobody cares about crypto right now. You're not even checking your own DAO. If you're a whale on a coin such as Bonk, you don't even care enough to check your own your own snapshot page. But anyway, so 7 days pass. They vote yes. They meet quorum because they bought 4 million worth of Bonk, and then 20 million in Bonk was transferred to them, and now the team has a realized loss of 20 million. So it wasn't even a hack, and I could call it a social engineering, but nobody was there to socially engineer. They just had to do the very bare minimum requirements to get quorum met, to vote for themselves, and just hope that nobody saw this proposal. And no one did. Nobody looked. Nobody went into the DAO. Nobody had an email, I guess, set up to trigger that, hey, there's a new proposal. I mean, that seems a little sus. Like, absolutely, literally zero people of the entire Bonk community noticed this vote. Like, that's nuts. They just don't care right now. Wow.
It's crazy to think that there was no notifications that went out to the point like where this literally just didn't get noticed and got passed. And it makes you wonder, like, if you're running a DAO, shouldn't it be an active DAO? Like that people are actively participating in it any time. To have such an activity to allow for something like this to happen really makes me question whether every project out there needs a DAO. I can understand, there's certain things like Futarkiri and things like that, with MetaDAO, where certain projects might require it for certain proposals. But did Bonk DAO need this DAO in the first place, or could decisions have been made by proper decision makers? Is kind of what my takeaway was.
Yeah, and why is there not an email list? I get emails for snapshot votes all the time. Hey, there's a new vote coming up, and nobody checked. If it has built it in, nobody checked. It's mind blowing. So hats off to these people that taught crypto yet another lesson upon lessons on millions of dollars lost. We will learn our lessons in crypto $1 at a time, or millions of dollars at a time.
It's always millions, Brian.
Yeah, so now DAOs don't do that. Don't do what this DAO did. Okay, there needs to be an alarm and a waiting period. If there was a waiting period, somebody might have noticed and overrode this. So I think I saw another interesting take. If I can go off news to another hack that just happened. Are you ready for this one?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't even know about it.
Okay, well, perfect. So Ostium, another perp dex, had a pretty bad liquidation, and they modified, or they were able to, I can't think of the term right now, but basically it wasn't hacked itself. However, their oracles were manipulated to a point where somebody opened a giga short. The oracles were then manipulated, and they got 18 million or 24 million out of Ostium. So,
oh boy.
Yeah, so another big hack just in the last few days. And this kind of sparked a discussion on X that, you know what? We need waiting periods. We need distribution waiting periods for something like Ostium in this case, which is a perp dex. If somebody won $20 million on a bet, well, that's a little big, but the hack was that big. If somebody won that much money on a winning trade, it should be held for review for a few days. Now, we love the fact that crypto is the wild, wild west, and that we can get our money, move it between 5 different chains in 10 minutes, and put it wherever we want to. I get that, but at some point, with all this money on the line, teams need to realize that maybe we do need some type of waiting period, even one that's 10 days, so that way they can review and watch where this money goes. People, but crypto people hate waiting periods. They hate having to wait on pulling their funds, because we're all used to being spoiled, and the best products are instantaneous and self custody. So we don't like to give that up. So that but at some point we've got to ask ourselves, do we need to make sure that waiting periods are in place to prevent things like this or the Bonk DAO? And it's on chain, it's voluntary. If you have a waiting period, I consider that as something that's smart at this point, because you can still be, decentralized, but you can write the smart contract to have some stop checks right before it distributes $20 million to someone in winnings.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I can understand that. I mean, on the other side, we've seen this before with Mango, for example, where they also had an Oracle exploit. What was the other one that happened recently where they were able to validate a token that didn't exist and basically give this token like a $2 billion market cap and then take out collateral against it.
Oh, I don't
Um,
remember. Was it hype? No, don't think it was
no,
hype. But hype's
I
been
can't.
kind of manipulated too before as well.
Yeah, I can't remember offhand, but well, I mean, these lessons have already been learned, and it's unfortunate to see that it keeps happening, right? It looks like this person did it in 5 cycles, from what I'm seeing over the course of like 5 minutes, um, and like fulfilled like a $5,000 per Bitcoin order, and then closed it out at 60K, from what I'm seeing here. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with decentralized oracles. I think there needs to be a technological improvement on oracle technology. I'm not smart enough to know what that looks like, but I would imagine like you would need fail safes, a lot of redundancy in order to prevent something like this from happening.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. And you know that I've shaken Sergi's hand.
yes, I've heard
Did
of
you know that?
this.
Oh, did you hear that? Okay, I just want to make sure you knew.
Well, you gotta let Chemo know.
Okay, hey, Kemo4be, I've actually shaken Sergi's hand from Chainlink.
Was it soft or was
Oh,
it pretty
I mean, no, it was actually kind of soft and it's a little moist, to be honest.
little
But
more? Yeah,
what really
no
got me
calluses.
is that blue-eyed stare that
Right.
really penetrates you. And he
Yeah.
was yeah. So I've shaken his hand twice actually. So let's keep moving. Keep moving.
Incredible.
Incredible. I know.
Well,
I
so
mean,
I have a good friend who did some stuff for golf, PGA Tour. And at some point or another, he cut across the green, which you're not supposed to do, and he then shook hands with George Bush and Bill Clinton, and he said their handshakes were weird. And so
Oh
that's why
no.
you always got to ask about a handshake.
that's true.
I also don't know why George Bush and Bill Clinton were hanging out at the golf course, but it is what it is. PGA Tour.
I wonder if their handshakes were moist.
No, I think they were just, well, I don't know, political.
A political handshake.
Oh man, I guess I can believe it. Unlike the Trump handshake where he pulls you towards him and like headbutts you, like that's a power play right there. So anyway, I guess I went off topic. What's our next story? Oh, I've got Robinhood chain up. I don't know if I have this in order, sir, so I'm totally sorry. But if I don't, Robinhood built another chain in Ethereum Layer 2, which launched on July 1st to host tokenized stocks and has become one of crypto's busy new networks. Now, oh yeah, it's busy because it's new. Will it have staying power? I think of so many products that have launched as Layer 2s in these last 5, 6 years that are dead, dying, abandonware, that had so much investment, so much time and energy pushed into them. And I can't think of a single one aside from, Arbitrum, and, that is actually alive. Even Base seems to be, a distant second from Arbitrum, right? And so in the grand scheme of things, we have Ethereum Layer 1, Arbitrum, Base, and what's after that? What's number 4 on the activity list? And
I
who's
mean,
using
maybe
it?
OP or like optimism. I'm not
It could
certain.
be, but Optimism has crashed like crazy too. And then
Yeah.
you've got the other chains, the independent stuff, that was not Ethereum based. They've crashed and burned. ICP. You've got what's the one with Charles Hoskins? I can't think of it currently.
Cardano.
Yeah, Cardano. Who goes to Cardano? I went to a Cardano
Nobody.
event. I'm sorry, that
Nobody.
was terrible.
What's
And
that?
you wanted what's Cardano exactly? What's Cardano?
Yeah, how was the event? What was that like?
So it was Cardano focused, but they wanted to bring more Ethereum events into the event. It was the Las Vegas Rare Evo event.
Right.
So they brought a few chains. They brought a few Ethereum layer, and layer 2 stuff from Ethereum over. And I saw Charles Hoskins. I could have shaken his hand, but I chose not to. I had my fill of moist handshakes in the crypto world for that year. And he seemed just like an average Joe that'd be right behind you in the line at Whataburger, except for he's rich and his users are poor. Sad. But anyway, yeah, it was a nice event because it was hosted in Caesar's Palace. There's definitely some money still pushing Cardano, but how much longer can the show go on? There's
I
a
don't.
lot of dead chains, and what's going to keep people on Robinhood? Is it the name? Is it the gravitas of Robinhood coming on chain? Do they have anything that's going to do things differently than Arbitrum? I think it's. I don't want to say it's a money grab. I'm sure they have intentions of being another chain, but just time and time again, we see nobody uses them. Nobody uses these
Woohoo.
extra chains.
Sunk cost fallacy runs the world, boys.
The what fallacy?
I said sunk cost fallacy runs the
Oh.
world.
Yeah,
That's all.
Yeah.
I feel like some of the market on our side on the Solana side of the river has drained out a bit to go speculate on Robinhood.
Of course.
If you take a look at some of their very interesting and awesome fresh ideas of meme coins, we could take a look at Cash Cat, Tendies. Virtuals has migrated. The RWA, who can forget? Real world butts. Yep, Pawns, Hypel, Juggernaut. I mean, what's unique about any of this stuff? We've seen it before. Stonks, Evermoon. Yeah, okay. Not gonna fall for that a third time.
Dude,
Maybe,
say
Wood, Meow. I mean, it's the same stuff over and over with every new chain. What's unique here? What's new? I go to discover the ecosystem. We've got Ackleme, we've got Arbitrum, which I guess this is an Arb layer 2, correct me if I'm wrong. Another perp dex, we've got Chainlink on board, we've got Lighter has allowed you to leverage their, it's the same stuff I could find on Arbitrum, guys, like Morpho, Paxos, Uniswap.
I mean,
Why?
it's literally any L2 on Earth. Like,
Yeah, it's the same stuff over and over. I'm mad at them for existing because I know the liquidity has run to speculate here, and it's going to be lost to a new breed of scammers.
nothingness. A new breed of nothingness.
Yeah. So, do these people need to learn their lessons again? Yeah, I guess so. But when are we going to be able to build something cool when people are tired of this kind of stuff? But when this launches, everyone's ready to go again. I have not bridged to Robinhood. I want to do it.
You don't want to buy GameStop on Robinhood chain though?
I mean, I do, but it's not going to do anything for me.
At
It's gonna
0.002
lose me money.
cents?
I mean, let's take a look at this chart. I mean, let's see. Okay, yeah, great.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah, ooh and odd. What's Cash Cat? Let's take a look at this chart. Oh boy, there goes my life savings. Like lessons learned. Why aren't you learning the lessons, crypto?
That's a
Never
lot
change.
of red transactions right there.
Oh my, yeah. Look at that. Look at that volume and oh look. Whoops! I'm only got got my 2 ETH. You probably put 30 in there. It's just great
$2.
stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you're mentioning like all these dead chains. I mean, it makes me think of like things like Pulse Chain, right? For Hex, or like Abstract Chain for Pengu's. Unfortunately, that didn't take off. And like, I wish that was like something that they built custom, but they went L2 also. And, as soon as I tried to move over to it, I wanted to move $10 onto it just to try it. It cost me $10 to move $10 onto it. I said,
Don't do
okay, I have $0 now. So what do I do?
Hey, the chat says there's an ore on Robinhood. Dare we ask what its name is? Come on, guys. You got to tell me.
I think you should guess.
I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing on this list that gives me any indication of being a cheap ripoff of ore. Is it chip?
I mean, there's Coin, there's Vex.
USG, Tendies? Is it Tendies? Oh, man.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to look for it. We're good. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Yeah, we just move right along.
Yeah. All right. Solana launches on-chain governance and sets entry fee at 100,000 Sol stake. So this story I glanced over. Validators and people who stake with them can now formally signal where the network should go through a new system called the Solana government's proposal. Any validator with 100,000 Sol behind it can open one. That's a decent chunk of change. I gotta say, that's pricey.
I mean, you're looking at what, like $7.6 million or something like that. I'm not exactly certain what the exact Sol price is right now, but
yeah, that's a lot of money. And one thing that Kemos4be was saying earlier about how and he doesn't know about all season, right? Like, and communities. One thing that I think is hard here is that we're trying to build durable communities in a space that's really mercenary with this capital. And, we could be best friends on ore, but if ore would disappear, we might rush to another project because we were like-minded, right? But so many people, once that project has a bit of a downturn, they're out. Like they sell and they're out of the community because financially it doesn't make sense anymore. So it's one of the gotchas of crypto, I guess, and building communities. The coin has to survive and the coin has to perform. Otherwise, you lose community members, specifically because of financial reasons.
Yeah.
So not that this is related to this story, but just something I thought of. Going back to what Kemos4be was saying. So building durable communities is quite the challenge in crypto, and I think that challenge can be taken up by ore for sure. And well, anyway, here we got Solana governance and all that good stuff. I am not up to speed on Solana governance. I don't know. The chain just works, okay? I don't know how it works. There could be like a one-of-one multi-sig running the whole thing, and I'm fine. It works. It's fast. It's interesting. It's easy to use, and there's ore and other interesting products on Solana.
I mean, yeah, ever since like ore stopped being proof of work, Solana started working. So we only took the chain down twice, I think.
Oh yeah, I've seen Polygon go down for very similar reasons.
Yeah. But I mean, this is interesting because now any validator that has a significant stake in Sol is able to propose changes, right? So if there's a group of, validators that kind of group together to decide on a proposal, they can overturn everybody else, which is kind of the scary part of this.
How many validators do we as an ore community have? Just pray tell.
Currently 0.
Okay, we need to fix that and make ore the native store value on Solana. We'll just make a statement on the Solana's front end.
Okay.
Validators vote, or is the official store value of Solana, and that's it. That's all we got to do. Bingo, bango.
I think we only need like $5 billion or something like that to make it happen.
Or social engineering.
Oh boy,
one or the other.
We
just need friends in high places.
I mean, this just reminds me of like the blockchain wars, or when the block size wars back in like 2016, when you had like different groups of Bitcoin miners that were like going into different camps to like fight over proposals. And that would be my concern here, is that you have these, coalitions that form and fight over Solana proposals, and it essentially becomes a boys club. Like, whoever gets the most validators basically can win any vote. So that would be my concern with something like this down the line is, do you essentially see a soft takeover of Solana if these are allowed to just automatically push through based on this governance? I haven't read really thoroughly into it, so I don't know if that's the case or if there's an executive vote that can overturn proposals, but I'm hoping there's some safety checks in place.
Yeah, I prefer to close my ears to this. And, when you turn the faucet, the water comes out. That's how I want Solana to work. For me.
Okay.
I don't need to know the details. Just, it runs. It runs.
Okay.
Like the magic water that comes through my faucet, it just appears.
You got to pay for it, right?
What?
Yeah,
bro. What?
It doesn't just come out. You got to pay.
Magic. No, you're joking with me. That's a lie.
Well, there's a wizard out there that makes the water.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we know that. Duh. Yeah.
I'm the idiot.
All right. Mysterious. Yeah, you've been paying for water? What's your problem? Mysterious Solana project World unveiled its fully on-chain prediction market. Okay, I missed this one. What?
Okay.
The platform is now live within the Phantom wallet. Okay, Phantom wallet.
So like this World
XYZ.
XYZ thing just like came out of nowhere, and like everybody was like, what the hell is World XYZ? It was literally just like a front end page where you have to put in your email address. I said, I don't want to put in my email address, so I ignored it entirely. Oh, there it is. Yeah. You can be notified about it. It didn't say it was a prediction market previously. It was just said like World is coming soon, and everybody's like, don't do that. Oh no, he's doxing my email.
That's
so everybody was like, what the hell is this? And there's like some token out there for World. Nobody knows if it's real or not, but it has a bunch of LPs. So some people speculated that it was real. I don't know. It's kind of like one of those, like they tried to make a whole bunch of hype around it. They made a viral meme that went around that they were saying that they were moving to Robinhood chain. That's what caused everybody to say, now I'm moving to Robinhood chain. So they're playing the marketing game really well. It turns out it is just another on-chain prediction market, but it is on-chain, which is kind of interesting. But it is another prediction market, which I think we have like 4,500 of already. So
yeah, great. Who's going to be arrested for? Who's going to be arrested for the hair drying the temperature at the airport this time?
Yeah, yeah, I remember that story. That what that was in France, right?
Yeah, just bet on the weather being 1,000 degrees today. Blowtorch the official thermometer at the airport or wherever the weather vane is that pulls the data. Profit. It's that easy. It's that easy.
Hey, Kemo, do you have a blow dryer?
No, I don't have a blow dryer, but I do have a heat gun.
Ooh, that could work.
Perfect.
I just replaced the blower motor on my truck.
See, we just need to use a drone to fly and heat up the device and then fly away. No evidence. Perfect.
Well, we're going to be wealthy now. I'm super sweaty. I'll just go hug it. It's okay.
Well, that's evidence, though. But what if we send your cat in? I mean, can a cat be implicated in a manipulation of a bet?
She's smart. She'll figure it out. Figure out the escape plan.
There we go. Of course she would. Just being adorable. Just being adorable is the escape plan.
Exactly.
Everybody's just going to drop their guns. Yeah. You're not under arrest. We love you.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that Solana, like, very heavily, and just all the crypto very heavily over the last however long, they did it well, which is like the pivot to finance as the center point. And like, last year they've been very focused on financial applications, and it did well for Solana. Everybody else kind of died. But then, inevitably in a bear market, what you get is like this sort of just try to replay the hits, baby. In high school I was playing football, so I'm gonna try and play football in the big leagues, which means prediction markets. Again and again and again.
Oh, it's
run
so
back
painful.
the hits, Turbo.
It's so painful.
Yeah, in another 2 weeks, we'll launch another prediction market that predicts if our last prediction market succeeds or not.
And I have a theory about forks. Okay, if the team was skilled enough to build what they forked, they wouldn't have had to fork it. So every time you get down the forkception road, like it just keeps more forks on forks on forks. By the time you get to the fifth team working that fork of a protocol, they're probably not skilled enough to do anything of significance, and they're going to get hacked. So that's my theory. Believe it or not, I don't care. But that's how I ask myself, how many forks away from the original is this product? And then I don't invest.
Well, that's the interesting part, right? It's unveiled as a fully on-chain prediction market. I'm not sure like how many on-chain prediction markets there are that are on Solana currently. I know that like there's a lot of like good front ends, right? And they have like partial chain, but like this is like fully on-chain. So does that mean like all of it's just contracts versus like having a like server that's like collecting the data? Like that I think that's kind of the difference, because I don't think Polymarket's fully on chain, right?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it?
Foundation is targeting the things that are going to put the most throughput through the Solana chain, or at least as they think it will. And so the more transactions it does, the better, which is why on chain.
Right. Yeah. Looking it up, Polymarket
from an adoption. Yeah, just from an adoption perspective, you're just like, why would somebody use the new version? Just like not even on chain. What is the reason somebody would use an on chain prediction market on Solana instead of Polymarket? Like the people who are going on prediction markets, they don't give a shit about decentralization and experience in finality. They're betting on sports.
Yeah, in this case, it's just the unregulated, degenerate version of sports betting.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the motivation to get on chain, right? You can do it however you can bet on whatever you want. You can't quite get that, so I think that's the hook for people to come on chain for that segment of the population, because getting on chain is a pain in the butt. It is. You got to get your Coinbase. You got to transfer funds to a wallet. Maybe you've never set up a wallet before, so you don't know if you're doing it right. And then you got to log on and connect and learn all these new terms, and then get drained, of course, at least twice because you connected to the wrong website. And it's a pain in the butt. So these products, I see that they can pull people into crypto Not sure if it's got the staying power for that population that we want, but they're in demand. So good luck to World.xyz.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I know that people typically like to go where the liquidity is for trading products like this, or prediction products. So it's going to be, a uphill battle for prediction markets that are on chain, but could be done. We'll see.
All right, well, let's go to the Mineshaft Weekly, and this very, very, very show will probably be covered in the Mineshaft Weekly because we're important enough to be on there. All right, so we had our 1000th epoch on Solana. That's great. Ore mines are about to take the next step in the stage of their evolution with Hard Hat Chad riding V4. And apparently I pushed V4 back by like 5 weeks because I suggested he change something. So sorry, guys. It's just what it is. My suggestion was good, and you're going to have to live with it, okay? With over 1 million of Solana deployed in the mines per day, Mine with Ruby reaching over 60 TVL with a new interface there's a lot to cover. So he's going to cover, we actually covered Mine with Ruby, so we might skip that section, just kind of gloss over it a bit because we actually had them on the show a week or 2 weeks ago. It was a really good show. The unrefined ore hold time. Look, 60% of holders hold have never claimed. That's a large number. 60% of holders have never claimed their ore.
That is correct. Yeah.
1.5.
That's me, baby.
90 days. Oh, nice. And it just kind of tapers down. So we've got on this right side, we've got our washers, our rinsers. Then we've got our iron hands, and that's quite the difference in who's rinsing and who's selling every day versus the people who are holding very strong. And that's why ore is eventually going to trend up, regardless of the sellers. It's going to keep trending up as long as we have iron hands, because iron hands aren't a meme. They're part of the gumption of a token, right? Do you really have iron hands? Most coins don't, but at least we get paid for holding ore in various ways. So why not have iron hands? Let it work for you. So that's a lot of conviction. So hopefully that can be continue to be shared as that number grows, and kind of get people on board to say, "Hey, these guys are serious. They really believe their own. They really believe in themselves. I believe in myself. I believe in Hard Hat Chad, Mr. Fronk, Kemos4be in the audience. I believe in you guys. So don't sell on me, okay? Don't sell on me. Mining volume's been consistent. I've seen some great rounds. Actually, did I go off of ore already? I did. Let's take a look at let's see if that mother load popped yet, right? Let's not go off.
Not yet. I actually have I got a little lily go that Spuddy helped me set up that allows me to have like a little screen on my desk that always shows the mother load.
Oh god. So was it 310 now? How many ore is it at this point?
It's 306.4.
Wow. So there's still 20 sold deployed every round or something around there.
That's what it's looking like. People are excited. I don't know if you know about this, but Kemo, we just switched over around 335,000. We switched over to new mother load odds. It switched from 1 in 65 to 1 in 500. So I guess that's probably part of the kind of hype right now. They saw like a big mother load. There's better odds. I'm excited for the change, though. I think it'll help smoothen out the curve a little bit. We've noticed that there's a lot of people who chase really often, and those big mother loads seem to hurt community members down the line. We'll see if that's the case, if this change really means something or not. I mean, I think it's probably pretty minor, but interesting tweak.
You said it's minor.
He said minor.
Oh my gosh! I said, this is dad joke territory. I even said that too. I mean, wow.
I can feel the mustache through the call currently.
Let me rub my mustache on my microphone. Hold on. Can you hear this?
It's a mustache. On my screen, it's a Fronk mustache sandwich.
Feel the love.
I always mind when there wasn't a big mother load. I would wait for the mother load to hit and I'd be like, all right, baby, it's time to mine. It's like when the mines are full, like, bro, it's crowded. Why are you touching my shoulder? I'm trying to swing my pickaxe. Get out of here.
Yeah, so I mean that's part of it.
Urinal, you're like, there's 500 urinals, and somebody like rolls.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically, a grid of urinals, and I don't want to be sharing my urinal with people.
Yeah,
I never looked at it that way, but I will never not look at it that way anymore.
It's very awkward. And then, but what's worse is that when it is crowded, you have to take the urinal that's for children, and it's like by your knees, and it splatters all over your knees. I mean, am I wrong here?
That's terrible. No, I didn't. I've never done that. You're
I
alone.
mean, that does happen.
I'll just
Toilets are
go to the next
designed
place.
improperly.
Yeah, I've heard of people doing that, but they don't go to this Discord. You don't know them, so.
Okay, thank you. All right. Oh, the light mode has launched. So in case anybody hasn't noticed that yet, which is pretty hard if you actually visit the site, the new light mode looks like it's a 25 tile full grid mining, and you just give it some Solana and you hit start. Right? That's kind of what we've been asking. What I've been asking for a long time. You need to make the friction even less. Just let people get started with what they got.
Yeah, it's a really highly requested feature that I'm glad that we finally were able to see implemented, where somebody can just go in, don't have to fuss over all the tiles, or do I play this tile? Do I play that tile? Do I click on a tile and then lose all my money? Oh no, you don't have to do that anymore. While you're still learning, you can just go ahead and deploy some Solana, start earning ore. Make it as seamless as possible to get in and start that ore journey, right? I know we'll see some more educational materials around the light mode, and it does have a cool visualizer now. We're still kind of working on it, but now you can actually kind of just watch and, for those people that I call this or to study to, it's just got this gentle glow. You got this up on the other screen while you're working on something. It's just kind of like a little visual stimulus as you're going along. So I found it to be pretty cool.
It is nice. It is super nice. Did I go off the? Of course I did. Of course I jumped right off the miner side. Here, let me go back here. Okay, the mine shafts weekly is back up. So we covered light mode. There's some strange graph on the screen. I don't know what this is.
Well, you got to figure it out.
I don't want to. What? Okay. Accumulana, that's not Accumulana. One of these being Brady Donut, highlighting the HawkFi MM agent that can be used to make market make on pairs such as Ore and Soul. That's just complicated. You guys, good luck. I don't know what to do with this kind of thing. Since Ore Soul ratio has been holding quite closely, Brady noted it made great for market making since there's a high amount of volatility, but price changes are not that high. If you decided to use this, do so at your own risk. Make sure you read up about it. Yes, please. So over my head, we can have him as a guest, but you're connecting your wallet, sir. Not me this time.
Okay.
Challenge accepted. And then
Challenge accepted.
Ruby has reached over 60K TVL, which we had him on 4 weeks ago. I said 2 weeks earlier, but that was a Cumulana. So great job, guys. Keep the alternative front ends going. It's great. Marty Party Music posed that agents will be mining ore in mass. And Thomas Bahamas was seen his hard hat at the Solana 4 weekly recap. Okay. All good news. And the minds enjoy the articles.
Oh, did you see this article? Did you read this article?
I didn't. I did see it. I've had a busy week. But yeah, this is true. Why ore is often duplicated but never imitated but never duplicated. Yeah, we've seen some pretty heinous crashes in alternative or adjacent products recently. Where's the staying power? They didn't have any, and that's crazy. That how
it's
much
almost like the technology only matters the first time that you do it, and then
Yes.
after that, it's kind of like, well, what did you do? Did you add? Well, all right.
And I've seen quite a few gimmicks to keep the other products interest up, and those gimmicks are clearly not working. So I think one of the successes of Ore is that it maintains the thesis of its existence. It doesn't gamify with cheap tricks and other functions that are just mimetic in nature rather than store value in nature. So keep driving straight, keep driving that front end loader, keep hauling that ore in your dump truck, hard hat Chad, whatever you're doing, just keep the road. Don't go off track.
I got no words. I love that you brought a dump truck into the mines. I don't know how you fit it in there.
We got a big hole. We got a lot of miners. We've dug everywhere.
We're gonna dumpy.
We're gonna dump everything. Just dump the mother load. Come on, just bear with me
I
here.
think it's I'm gonna hop up and I'm gonna go see if I get my mother load, which is hoping that this switch turns on my cool air.
I'm excited. Tell Jim at AutoZone that we said hi, by the way.
Yeah,
I will tell Jim right after he gives me my warranted part. that I've gotten serviced for warranty twice already. So yeah,
All
Well,
right,
awesome.
sir.
it's incredible.
Thank you.
I'll keep you guys updated.
For sure. Keep us in the loop. I appreciate you having you
And-
on and joining us today. It's super.
Yeah, thank you for hanging out in the
Yeah,
heat.
totally. Yeah, I actually did a lot of things like this for Jupe and got through like a whole streaming setup and all that stuff. So if you guys do want to do like streaming or any of that stuff to X or Spaces or whatever else, I might be happy to help with the setup of OBS and all the multi-camera angles and whatever else.
The world's not.
I went through the crash course when I had to host a game show on Thanksgiving morning.
Amazing.
Yeah. So.
We'll have to set up the game show to have people vote if they want that or not. It's a community vote.
Perfect. Exactly.
Well, have a good
Everything.
afternoon.
Should Kemo have AC? Vote with your oar.
Yeah, they can
No.
take away parts of the car as they vote. Oh boy.
Good shit. This is fun. I'm looking forward to the next one, and I'll talk to you guys soon. I'm going to also probably be hosting Spaces too, so
Oh, hell yeah.
we can yap then too.
All right, cool.
Sounds
Look
good,
forward
sir.
to collabing a little more.
Yeah, totally.
All right.
Talk to you guys later.
All right, peace out.
Bye.
So, Mr. Fronk, your article, consolidate this into one sentence because we're running a little over time here, so I apologize, but I don't want to skip your article. What did
Okay.
you write?
So
as
I wrote
few
an
words as
article.
possible.
It's got words and sentences and paragraphs. The title is Why Ore is Often Imitated but Never Duplicated. So oftentimes when especially in like the digital asset space, you see like, it's any primitive that becomes successful, people start to create the derivatives of it. They try to find, their own footing, their own kind of flavor of it, but always working on the same base primitive. The reason that it's super hard to duplicate what the original one does is, number one, the original one, excuse me, becomes successful because they're the ones who created the primitive. It usually takes a really, really innovative individual or team to come up with the primitive in the first place, right? With that comes a lot of talent involved, a lot of experience from creating it in the first place, which also leads to a lot of support for the product. Oftentimes, when you see derivatives pop up, they don't bring that same class or level of talent involved to back their product in the same manner.
And you have to question
then-
the motivations too.
Right. The mission and the motivation behind it. And alongside of that, those derivatives typically try to throw gimmicks in to try to go for the quick hit, right? To try to build a community quickly. And community can't just be built overnight. It's something that's earned with time. So I think ultimately, if I were to summarize this, a new primitive, Lindy effect. New primitive. The first one always wins because of the Lindy effect. There you go.
I can agree with it. I wouldn't be here if this was a fake one. I want to be here with the original, and the vision is here. The vision is here. The vision is here. It's not. I can't trust the motivations of the other second-rate products. Like I just don't trust the vision. Don't trust the founder. There's not enough time, and the fact that they seem to come out of the woodwork and try to imitate the persona of your founder is a big red alarm. So red alert. I get it. They coexist. We will always coexist with products that attempt to build a better mousetrap. But you're right. The original always has a weight to it that is hard to replicate.
Yeah, I mean, you look back at like the fork wars. People are trying to build a better Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash came out, Bitcoin Gold came out, Bitcoin Satoshi's Vision came out a little later. There was all kinds of different types of Bitcoin that were just launching all in quick succession. Most of them just went to zero or close to zero. I think Bitcoin Cash is still the most prominent split or fork, but none of them had really the gravitas that the original had.
That's our word of the day, isn't it? Gravitas.
Yes, that would be the word of the day for the rest of the day.
Okay, I will use it again in my personal life. So, well, we have run a little bit over, and that's okay. Sir, is there anything else we should cover? We have kind of covered everything we wanted to hit.
Did we cover you shaking Sergi's hand?
No, I don't think we did. So, get this. There I was. Consensus. I met Sergi and I shook his hand twice.
Was it the same hand both times?
Yeah, he's right-handed.
Oh, okay. Are you also right-handed?
I probably am.
Okay, so was it awkward?
No, it's just moist.
Okay. Did you guys make eye contact when you shook hands?
I did. That's where I had to recoil in fear. He really does have an icy stare right through you. I'm serious.
Did he smile as he shook your hand, or was it stern?
No, just a mustache.
The
beard. It was just in my face. He's like a wolf.
Okay,
anyway.
Well kept.
Yeah, he didn't smell. That's what you mean. I
just like
sniff the people. No, I didn't notice any food in it either, so everything was okay.
Well, it sounds like a good experience. I'm really glad that changed your life.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Next time, story time, the Midnight Howler. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate everybody coming today. We'll have this up on X as soon as possible. I'm going to go eat some pizza now. Y'all guys, have a good night. Have a good night, Mr. Fronk.
Peace out. This is Starship Fronk signing off.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.